Mrs. Rita Payne, Emeritus President of the Commonwealth Journalists Association. Rita, please, could you reflect on what you see as challenges to media freedom across the Commonwealth?
Well, this is a dark time generally, I think, for the media. And I'll just sort of broaden it slightly to say that with the climate and with people like Trump who are talking about the media, lies and alternative facts and fake news, this denunciation of the media is filtering and percolating everywhere, including Commonwealth countries. Because, unfortunately, people who feel they're the targets of the media or their misdoings have been exposed, what do? They attack the messenger. And in the worst cases, journalists are killed. Otherwise, they're threatened, their livelihoods at risk. So how do journalists react? And just to give a few examples, say Pakistan and Bangladesh would probably be the worst for journalists as far as the threats to their lives are concerned, because bloggers have been killed. Anybody who doesn't toe a certain line, whether it's a government line, whether it's a religious line, could be open to attack. In India, it's slightly different. In India, you have different pressures, slightly, in the sense that you've also what is called paid journalism. So the way some journalists react is, and you can understand that, where they might think, well, look, I've got a life, I've got a family to support, and they turn to just doing safe stories, development stories, business development stories, corporate stories, and it almost is sort of a form of self-censorship. And the journalists in India have said that they've stopped tackling sensitive issues because they can't face all the attacks and threats that they get now these days through social media. And they can't even dismiss that easily, because they can't just say it's social media and these words won't hurt me, because there have been so many instances where journalists have actually been killed. So this is why I would say that this is a very dangerous time, a fraught time for journalists. What can journalists do? Journalists need to be totally on top of the legal process so that they do not expose themselves, don't become vulnerable. They've got to understand the news, stand their ground, but also they need to be supported by newspaper owners, proprietors. So there's a whole chain involved.